What's up guys, Zam from Forward Progress Madden. In this video, we are going to talk about manipulating zone coverage and using zone coverage rules against your opponent to free up routes that your opponent thought were going to be covered. In Madden 17, they've added a lot of new zone concepts to the game, and with those concepts come rules for the zones. Basically, it's a list of programmed if-then statements that cause the defenders to do slightly different things based off of what play and what formation you're running. This is way different than in previous editions of Madden where zones drop to a spot on the field and that's the way they played. They would just stand in that spot, and if a receiver came into that area, if they had a high enough play recognition, awareness, zone coverage rating, they would maybe jump the route. As a result, zone coverage was easy to beat, and a lot of those zone beating concepts still carry forward into Madden. It's just now that we have these better set of rules to combat many of the flooding concepts that exist in the game. So what I'm going to do is talk about Tampa 2, because Tampa 2 is actually pretty good this year as a defense because of the Cloud Flats ability to sink underneath corner routes. So in the past, you just knew zone coverage, I'm going to throw a corner route. It's going to be very, very difficult. If I throw it to the wide side of the field, they're going to have to user it. Well, this year, sometimes those cloud flats will break up the pass. They will intercept the pass sometimes. And as a result, you have these new mid-read zones in the middle of the field that will drop and take away the skinny post. So everything as you knew it about cover 2, smash concepts, skinny post between the safeties, it's a lot harder to complete those routes this year. And if you're facing somebody who has good user stick, it's even harder to beat these defenses. So let's go ahead and talk about this play here. So typically you would think this vertical stretching concept, you're going to have the ability to hit Mohamed Sanu between the safeties and behind the linebacker. So we'll go ahead and snap the ball and we'll show you that that's really, really difficult. We do fit in the pass right there, but it's not a consistent completion for you. Matt Ryan makes a great throw on that example, but as you can see right here, if you try it again, sometimes that mid-read zone is in the area and takes away that read. So let's go into the replay and we're going to talk about the zone rules of the mid-read defender in Tampa 2. The mid-read defender is what drives this defense to work essentially. So the way this defense works is this mid-read hook zone that drops in the middle of the field has preset rules before the snap. They have to analyze the left side and the right side of the formation. Now, whichever side has more pass catching options is going to dictate their drop. So as you can see here, to the left of the quarterback or the left of the defense, we have the tight end and the running back. That's 2 pass catching options. To the right of the quarterback, we have a set of twins receivers and a tight end creating a tray. So you have trips to the right. That is going to dictate that the passing strength of this formation is to the right. And as a result of the snap, our mid-read zone opens his hips to the trip side, and now his responsibility is to carry the most vertical threat to the depth of the most vertical threat on the trip side of the formation. So as you can see at this point, he's dropping with the tight end. The tight end at this point right here is probably the most, well, getting close to the most vertical. They're both at the 20. But then that tight end is going to cross underneath. He's going to trade that off to this defender right here, the vertical hook, who is going to pick him up. Now at this point, he has to continue to drop for depth. He needs to drop underneath this post, and that's where we're throwing it, and that's why he gets a pass deflection. Now, to the average player, they think, okay, I can't throw this play. But honestly, you can. So let's go ahead and just do something simple. We're just going to use motion to manipulate the zone rules. We're going to motion this route over, and as you can see now, we have trips to the right. The defense is left. The offense is right is trips. Now you can go ahead and do whatever you want. You could put Tammy on an out route. Maybe you put Freeman on a flat. Honestly, whatever route combination you want. It doesn't matter. We're trying to free up Mohamed Sanu here. Now we have the trips. Watch Akeem Hicks drop. We hit Sanu and we take a hit, but you can see that Sanu was wide open. We'll go ahead and do the same motion and snap here. We'll go ahead and show you. Just, something like this. Mohamed Sanu is open. We're able to hit that behind that linebacker who is opening his hips to the trip side. So we'll go ahead and go back into the replay, and we'll show you right here. Let's go again to Jordan Hicks. You have trips to the left, so he's going to open his hips to the trip side and carry the most vertical route, which is clearly this corner route to the tight end that we've motioned over. And now we're going to go ahead and isolate these twins on the backside. You've got Julio, you've got Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu is going to break behind Julio and in that void on the backside in the seam. Now the vertical hook on that side is this slot corner. His responsibility is to carry the vertical. So he's going to carry Julio. And now this cloud flat that's playing the sideline has to let that post pass underneath him. And now Sanu is wide open on the backside. So that makes a lot of sense. You've now just manipulated the mid-read zone, and it's opened up a play that you thought on a previous down was unusable. Now let's talk about stock plays and how to beat this Tampa 2. Now, as many of you know, close halfback wheel is one of the best plays in the game. And that's because skinny posts do a very, very good job at getting open against pretty much everything. They run too deep for the hook zones, and they run too shallow for the deep zones. And you're going to see right here, cover 2 drop. You've got that mid-read zone that's just going to open up to the trip side, and that backside post is open. So we'll take a look right here. Actually, I think this was a spot zone concept. We'll go ahead and call it Tampa 2. But as you can see here, when we look at this formation, if you did have a mid-read zone on this play, you have trips to the left, twins to the right. That skinny post is going to be open on the backside by default. So let's go ahead and just call a true Tampa 2 here, and I'll show you this exact same play. And now you'll understand exactly why Tampa 2 does not defend this play. And I'm not even sure that players really understand why Tampa 2 does not defend this play. So you can see right here, look how wide open that is. And I've heard players on streams say, where's my hook zone? Where's my hook zone? Well, your hook zone is playing his correct assignment. He's opening to the trip side, and that skinny post is wide open on the backside. Now, I've seen players do this mistake as well. They think, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and motion Mohamed Sanu over because that's just going to open up the skinny post even more, right? Wrong. Now watch how this plays. Julio makes a great catch in front of the linebacker, but that motion completely screwed up the possibility of Julio Jones getting open, wide open on this play. Because now you have trips to this side of the field. So the linebacker is going to open his hips to the trip side and carry Julio. And Julio runs right into him. So that's basically how you beat Tampa 2. Manipulating Tampa 2, manipulating that read zone, using motion to open up a strong route that you know is going to beat the zone coverage, and using motion to simply open the hips of a mid-read can open up a world of passing options and make Tampa 2 that much easier to beat. So if you guys like this video, be sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe for more Madden 17 content. I post videos every day, and you can check me out on twitch.tv/forwardprogressmadden. Until next time, this is Zan. Peace.